Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Breaking Character. My name is Jordan-Paige. I'm the show creator and host, and I am so happy you're here today. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you see here today, please click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when we post. And we also post on Instagram, which is at Breaking Character Show, so you can keep up with us on there as well. Today's guest is someone I've been friends with for a few years now, so I'm really excited to have him on the show. Jude Timothy Harris's creative side was evident when he was very young, always making up some type of character to portray. After moving to Atlanta 5 years ago, he started performing in local theater and then wanted to try film. He quickly realized that he had a passion for acting as well as being behind the camera. Jude enjoys collaborating with others to create meaningful and entertaining content. Jude has branched out into other areas of the film industry, such as casting, directing, cinematography, and numerous other crew positions. Jude loves the film industry as a whole and wants to do it all. Jude can currently be seen in a national ad campaign for Dish Network. Jude is also a strong supporter of several nonprofits that specialize in helping children. So without further ado, let's head to Zoom. All right, so here we are with Jude Timothy Harris, who is someone who I'm grateful to have known for a few years now and have gotten to work with. So how are you doing today, Jude?
I'm doing really well. It's been a good day. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I am a little tired today, but it's fine. I also just realized I don't know why my Zoom does this. It switches to gallery view, and I'm like, no, I want speaker view. So now we're on speaker view. There we go. Gotta love it, right? I think I figure something out and then it's like, no.
Yeah.
So I am super excited to have you here on the show today. And, not only to talk about, what you've done so far, but you've got some projects in the works right now, which is really exciting, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So I'd like to start off with playing Two Truths and a Lie. So you're going to tell me your two truths and a lie, and I'm going to attempt to guess which one the lie is. So whenever you're ready.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a theme to them.
Okay.
So yeah, the first one is Kristen Bell introduced herself to me one time. The next one is Jason Bateman almost hit me with a car. And the third one is Mandy Moore spilled water on me.
Okay. All right. So you're making this really hard for me. I see how it is. All right. Okay. Okay. I'm really bad at this game to begin with. So okay.
Me too. I'm like bad at coming up with them.
Well, you came up with some really great ones. I have no idea. I'm going to guess that the third one is the lie.
The third one is the lie.
Really?
Yeah, Mandy Moore, no, she never spilled water on me. I saw her one time though. That was cool.
Okay, but Jason Bateman almost hit you with the car?
Yeah. I was actually background on the set of Ozark, and this like PA came up to me and he was like, "Hey, do you want to be a featured extra?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So he was like, "All right, cool. So you're gonna be walking across the street into the school with your buddy, and you're gonna have your backpack on and stuff. And Jason's gonna come up and he's gonna stop pretty far back, but it's gonna look like he almost hits you with the car. I just want you to be like, 'What the heck, man?' and just keep walking, but don't actually say any lines." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So we like start to walk, and he came way closer than the PA said he was going to, and I was like, "What the heck, man?" And I just kept walking.
Love that. You didn't even have to act. It was just genuinely, what the heck just happened?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow, that's definitely a good story to be able to tell.
It is.
All right, so I would like to talk a little bit to start out about your filmmaking, because you are currently working on two different projects, which is really cool. So you told me you're working on a faith-based film called Godspeed and a family-friendly series called Skits Atlanta. So could you tell us a little bit about those projects and how they're going so far?
Yeah, they're going really well. We're about halfway through Godspeed, which is a short film. It's about 20 minutes long, I think. But yeah, we're about halfway through. It's been going pretty well. We had a mishap, so production has been like pretty slow. But other than that, it's going well. And skits, we've done a couple videos for that, but we haven't really jumped into it. We're waiting until after we finish the movie to actually like dive into that. But yeah, I really like them. I'm working with a couple other people on them. Godspeed it's a more dramatic piece, but it's still like pretty cool. It's about this guy who's an adrenaline junkie, and he has a cool car, and he meets his new neighbor, who she's like the opposite of him. She's very reserved. She doesn't go out a lot, like, and stuff like that. And so they're both that, like, it's that opposites attract kind of thing, where they want to be like each other, because he doesn't get a lot of attention in his home life, and she does. So he wants attention from his parents, and she wants to be able to go out and experience these cool things. So they just kind of like they meet and they grow together and stuff like that, and it's pretty cool. And it's a faith-based film, which means it's a Christian film, but it's not in your face. We didn't want to be too in your face about it, and because a lot of times with Christian films, they can be a little unentertaining sometimes, because you get just like the same message with a lot of them, or they make you feel bad about your life or something like that. We just wanted to make something that was entertaining, that you didn't, if you looked at it on the surface, you wouldn't know that it was a faith-based film. Not that we're ashamed of it at all, obviously, but just to draw in more people. And then Skits Atlanta is something that I actually didn't start. It was started by Dave. His name's Dave. I can't remember his last name right now, but they live in Florida, and they just make videos, and they have them on a platform called 360 TV. But they're also working to get them on a cable network.
Oh wow, so, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we branched out into Atlanta, and like I said, we filmed a couple videos for it. They're just like 3-minute long videos. They're supposed to be funny, and so yeah, that's what I've written a lot of them. I was actually writing some in the vlogs.
I saw, yeah, I just watched them this morning, so I love them. I was so entertained. I was like, ooh, filming, ooh, writing.
Yeah, it was like I was like, I don't know, because like I was just talking about what I was doing, and I wasn't like showing much of it. But that's like I don't typically show a lot just in general. I just like to tell people about what's going on, because it's when I'm engaged in something like filming and stuff like that day, I totally forgot about the vlog.
I love that part. You were like, so
yeah, it was like daytime in one clip, and then it cuts to like nighttime, and it was like, wait a minute. But yeah, I get like distracted by what I'm doing, and it's like hard to show it, and I don't know what people are interested in, so I'll just like tell them what's going on. So
I love it. I think it was great. I loved hearing about what was going on, and I'm really happy to hear that your projects are going well. I'm very, very excited to see them when they come out. I know they're going to be great. So yay. And of course, I know you said too in your vlog, you have many other films written that are sitting there. So I know those are ready to go as well. So I will be looking forward to many more films coming from Jude in the future.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So some people watching this may recognize you from Rings that we did together. What was that? 3 years ago now, which is wild.
3? No, wait. It was like 3. I think.
That's crazy.
3 yeah.
Wow. So 3 years ago we did Rings, or they may have seen you in the Dish commercial you're currently in, which is super cool. Or they may have seen a theater show that you've been in. And so you have done, all of those are very different from each other. Of course, all different mediums are very different. So, what are some things that you like about each of those mediums? And, do you like to do more than the other?
Yeah. So, the thing that I found about, commercials and film and TV as well, I think TV and film are sort of like together in that, but they're very similar. It's just commercials a lot quicker. When you're auditioning for a commercial, or you're starting to go into production, everything there's a quick turnaround with everything. I think it was only a couple of days from actually getting the audition to booking it.
Wow.
Which is like it's weird. And I had to go into the city that day for the audition, so it was like out of nowhere. I was just at home doing my own thing, and then I got an email, and it's like I got to be in the city in like an hour, and I'm auditioning for a commercial. And then it was crazy. And then the next day I had the call back, and the day after that I booked it. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. But yeah, so they're pretty similar. It's just I like commercials really quick. It was only a day shoot. I was in Florida for a week for the commercial. And I was working with them for 3 days. I had the first day that I did wardrobe, the second day that I did hair. And they had to like completely change my hair. And then the third day was the film. With film though, it's like it takes a lot longer, which I also enjoy because you get to sort of enjoy the experience a little more. You get to take it in a little more. That day with the commercial, I was sitting on the couch. I wasn't really doing anything for like an hour or so, and I was just watching the whole production. And I was like, dang, I gotta take this in right now because it's not gonna happen again for a while. Actually, I hope it does. But yeah, and then theater I really enjoy. Theater to me feels a little more scheduled. It's a little more prepared or not prepared. There's like a lot of schedule. It's like it's consistent. That's the word I'm thinking of. Theater is very consistent. You get a rehearsal on the same day every week, and then you have the show, and it's all the exact same. Which I like that structure and that uniform, the uniformness of that's not a word. I like how uniform theater is, and it's like easy to have a lot of fun when everything's happening the same way over and over again, because you don't really have to worry about, oh, what if like something new comes up in the middle of this shoot and then we can't shoot here anymore. Mm-hmm. With theater, it's like I know this is going to happen, so I can just I can play it as it goes. I definitely lean towards film more than theater and commercial. I think that's where my heart is. That's where I find the most enjoyment, because I like the environment and I like I just like film. I don't know. Film is fun. And I like film.
I get that. It is. Film is, and I like how you definitely mentioned the uniformness of theater, because you're right. That is very, you go to rehearsal, you have the show, when the show is, you do the show X amount of times. And yeah, with film and with commercial, I mean, as you said, it's like, there you go. Now you're going and you're booked and there you go. Now you're on set. Like goes so quickly. Film is, and I think film, there's so many possibilities in film. And it's endless of what genre, who are you playing, what's the scenario? There's so many that can happen. So now it's time for the wild card question, which you have no idea that I'm asking you. So aside from life's necessities, what is something you could not go a day without?
Okay. I'm not gonna say my phone. Because that's
it would be hard for me to not say my
phone. I'm thinking so materialistic. Hold on. I don't think that I could go a day without talking to someone, because I like my alone time. I cherish my alone time very much, but I'm such a people person that not having any human contact for an entire day would be really hard.
Interesting. That's a good answer. That's impressive that you thought past materialistic, because that's immediately what I thought of when I saw the question. And I was like, oh, I'll do that one. And now that's a better answer than I could come up with.
I mean, if we're talking materialistic, my glasses, because I get migraines without them. So
those might be important. So, all right. So now it's time to play the game of the show, which is memory association. So the way memory association works is I have a random word generator pulled up on my phone, and I am going to generate a random word, and we are both going to say the first memory that pops to our head when we hear that word. So are you ready?
Okay. Just like a one word answer, or like a story, or
like a story. Like, what's the first story that comes to your head? Okay. All right. So our first word is, oh, look, I swear it's random. The first word is movie.
Okay. Okay. So sitting here with you, and movie, Little Chef. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Oh my gosh. I just rewatched that the other day.
Really? Is it bad?
No, No, because I live with Ashland now, who
Right.
is also was in that movie, and so we decided to watch it one night, and it was no, I cringed a little bit watching me. No, but you were great, and I mean overall, it's really, I was like, wow, I didn't cringe as much as at myself as I thought I was going to. Because I mean that was also many years ago, and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
That was a good
Yeah.
shoot.
It was. It really was. It was my first like actual like film sort of production. So, and then Rings was like the next thing after
Well,
that.
yeah, I had like just gotten in your audition for Rings, and then we were working on the same film, and so I was
Yeah, it was like, hey, I just auditioned for
hey.
you.
Yeah, I will say the first thing I thought of with when the word movie came up is I remember when The Darkest Minds came out, and like we went to go see it like the first day it came out, because we had both been extras in it, and we both got to see we're both in the film, which is really cool. So you've got a really good shot in that one. Like you pause the
I
film
do.
and you're like, bam, there you are.
Yeah, that was crazy. I actually I think I told you about this. I had that moment that was cut, where I was in the cage. I think I told you about that.
Oh yes.
Where we're walking through. There was a bunch of kids walking through this like caged area in this like warehouse looking thing, and they were like, "We need someone who can like act crazy." And my hand just like shot up immediately because I'm like ready to go with like any opportunity. If like I don't like to put myself in a position to be called on or to be or to come across as like needy or annoying or anything like that. But if the opportunity presents itself, I'm there. And so my hand shot up, and they were like, "Yeah, come here." And so they were like, "We just need you to act like crazy, like you're a little bit insane, but you're also just trying to get out." I was like, "Okay, cool." So then I just like, they called action, and I didn't know what to do, so I just flipped out, and I'm like grabbing the bar, I'm like shaking at it, I'm like grabbing people that are outside of the like walking by. And at one point, the camera came in really close, and I just like went up to the bar and I just started like biting it. And I was like a little embarrassed afterwards because I'm like, oh my god, I look like a fool in front of all these people. And then it got cut, and I was like, man, I put myself out there for no reason.
Well, maybe it's in like behind the scenes extra scenes somewhere. I don't know. Maybe
that would be cool.
But I mean, I bet you definitely gave them what they were looking for. Like,
I hope so.
That is, yeah, I do remember you telling me about that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Man, I wish they had made it in.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Can we talk about you and Ashland real fast?
Yeah, sure.
Because there's a lot of these moments in, I think, especially in the film industry, where you meet someone at one place and you meet another person at another place, and in your world, those are two separate places, and those places should never collide, right? And even though Ashland was part of a Little Chef, you and AWP for me are two completely separate worlds. And so when you moved in with Ashland, that was just like mind blowing to me. Like, how did that come about?
She posted on her Instagram when she had bought this house. She's gonna find it so interesting that we're talking about this during the interview. But no, so she at the beginning of December posted about having bought this house here and that she was looking for roommates. And actually what got me is she posted about one of the rooms is like the library. And so it has a ton of her books in it. And I was like, ooh. I was like, I like that. And so I ended up messaging her, continued from there. And that is essentially how I'm now living here. So yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. So yeah, that's really cool. And obviously you love books. You read like 200 in a year, which is mind boggling. But to get a little more meta and sort of on the same train, the girl that is playing the lead in Godspeed, I met her 3-ish years ago on something at Gray Studios. It's a studio here in Atlanta. And so 3 years later, I'm submitting for stuff. I always like to just submit for anything that I fit, just so I can work with everybody, because you never know. And I didn't realize that I was auditioning for her first film. And so we met and we started talking, and then we've been hanging out a lot since then. And she was in Darkest Minds as well on the same day that we were there.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like, whoa, wait a minute, like all this crazy stuff. And she'd been to AWP, and we were just like never met each other at AWP, and stuff like that. And it was like one of those moments where I was like everybody's colliding.
That's crazy. That is awesome. Yeah, I gotta love how, I mean, film industry just brings so many people together, and then you meet up years later and you're like, oh, hey, we know each other. Wow. So, all right, our second word for memory association is waterfall.
Waterfall. Ooh, okay. Yeah, so where I grew up in Kentucky, there's a waterfall called Cumberland Falls. And I wrote a movie not too long ago that I'm really excited to shoot. It's one of those that I gotta wait till later, because I just want it to be as good as possible. And just right now, it's not that for that specific movie. I don't think I could pull it off to the extent that I want to. And there's a scene where these two characters are at that waterfall, and they're in the river. They're just like playing around.
I love that. I thought of, I was just recently going through a whole bunch of my mom's old Facebook photos, and I came across some from multiple years ago when we went to, I don't remember what the waterfall is called, but there was one that we kind of went to just hang out for the day, and I took a whole bunch of dramatic artsy pictures of the water. And so I was like, oh, waterfalls are so cool, and I feel like if you find one like randomly, it's like such a special thing that you're like, wait, what? So that's what I thought of.
Yeah, that's awesome. Waterfalls are weird, man, because for something to be classified as a waterfall, there has to be water coming like not just straight down, but like at a steep angle, right? And it's like if you've ever walked around a waterfall, you can typically walk up the side of one. So it's like a weird shape. It's like this shape where like the water is like it comes straight down here, but then you can like walk up the side. It's like, yeah, it's weird. Like waterfalls are weird. So yeah, so when you find one, it's definitely like, how did this dip in the side of a cliff happen, and why can I walk up like 20 feet over there?
Nature is so strange. So there are so many characters to play out there, and you've played a lot of different types of people. Have you ever been given a challenge while playing a character that you really enjoyed? And what's your favorite part of the process when you're taking on a new role?
There have been a couple that are definitely out there for me. There's one character that I played a couple summers ago that was for a show, and he was quiet and quaint and very sweet, and he had a crush on this girl, and this girl was sick, and so he was very in love with her. So like everything she did, he wanted to take care of her and help her and support her and stuff like that. And that was a challenge, not because that's not me, because I'm pretty quiet when I'm not being engaged with, or when I'm in a new setting. I get like super quiet and stuff. And obviously I care about people and I've experienced those things. But it was a challenge because a lot of the characters that I've played have been really out there. They've been really big and dramatic. So it's easy to play someone like that, because for me, acting is a way to get out of my own head and to be someone different. And I'm not a method actor by any means, but that character sort of carries throughout the day with me. It influences how I react and engage with people, even while we're not filming. But I like to just stay in a specific place in my own head, so that when the time comes to film, I'm there and I'm ready, and I can be in that character without having to sit down and meditate on it and prepare. But this character, it was hard because it was such a 180 from playing Ashton in Rings or playing the numerous other bullies that I've played in other projects. It's like now I've got to care about somebody, and so it was hard to find what's me, because every character has you in it. You are the character, so every character is you. It's just a different version. So I had to find the line between what's me caring about someone, and what's me trying to be sweet, and what's me being quiet, and what's this character. And I found that a lot of times it felt like the acting was bad because I wasn't acting. And then it took a while, and it took a couple people telling me like, you're doing a really great job. And I realized later, I was like, oh, I was just like so in my head about it. And I was doing a better job on this than I probably have on other things because I wasn't playing a character. And it was just like an eye-opening experience. Like, oh, wait a minute. Like, I don't have to be this big dramatic whatever. I can be small, and I can be in the background of most of these shots because I was not the lead by any means. And that kind of stuck with me and has helped throughout the rest of my days where I've just been like auditioning and playing all these roles. Like, it definitely helps when I'm on set and I'm like, okay, how do I navigate this scene? And I just sort of like resort back to that moment where I was like, okay, I'll just be me, and then go from there. My favorite part of the process for coming up with a new character, or when I'm writing or even acting, is probably being in the space where we're going to be when we film, and being with the other people that are in the scene before we actually start to film. That moment where we're rehearsing or something like that, because the hardest part of auditions for me is being able to see where I am, which is it's not a bad thing, but it's not something I can't do. Sometimes it's a challenge to be able to see, okay, yeah, I'm sitting here typing at my computer, but really there's nothing behind me, and there's like lights and a camera in front of me, or like when I'm auditioning and stuff. So my favorite part is definitely being in that space. There was one project I did where in the audition I was like, it's just a normal, self-tape setup. I got just lights blaring in my eyes and a camera, and in the actual project, I was in an attic, and I was on the phone, and I was in this big chair, this like office chair, sort of like I'm in right now. I was like sitting sideways in it, and I'm like talking to this girl, and I'm like throwing a baseball up and catching it in my hand. And it was so much easier once I was on set and I was actually in the attic, and I was really there to be like, okay, yeah, now this makes a lot more sense. Mm-hmm. And my performance was definitely a lot better. And then also being with people, because auditioning and rehearsing alone is probably my least favorite part of the industry. If I had to have one, this is the least favorite part, because when I'm auditioning, I can't or self-taping, I can't express who I am, and I can't gauge off of the casting director or casting assistant or camera op or anything like that. I can't influence them or charm them or anything like that. I can't connect, because there have been so many times where I've gotten into an audition and conversation has started, which is weird because you feel like in the beginning I felt like I had to be like super strict and stuff like that, and I couldn't talk to them, and now conversation comes up. So I'm always like alone and stuff like that in a lot of what I do. So when I have the opportunity to like act along the person that's actually in the scene, I really cherish that, because it helps a lot, and I think it makes me a better actor for sure.
Fascinating. I love that. I think I hadn't even thought about, being in that space. That definitely sounds like it would be very helpful and
Hmm.
influential for sure. So thank you
Yeah,
for sharing that.
thank
That's
you.
very, very fascinating. So could you give some advice to the people watching, whether it be life advice, career advice, whatever advice you would like to give?
I think the biggest thing as of lately, when you're acting, right, and you are either filming or rehearsing or you're on stage or anything like that, I think typically people are so in their own heads about, okay, this is how I'm saying it, this is how I'm moving, this is where I'm looking, this is how my face looks and stuff like that. And even right now, um, you I'm thinking about myself. I'm thinking about, yeah, my hands are moving a lot, but they're all out of frame, so it's okay. I look normal, right? Um, but just remember that nobody is in your head. Nobody is thinking what you're thinking or seeing you how you think they're seeing you. And when you're there and when you're in that moment, just let it go. Don't think about how you look. Um, don't think about how you sound. Don't think about yourself. Think about your intention. This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm saying it. This is what I want from the other person. That's why you're saying it. Is because you always want something from someone. Um, and then just let all of your insecurities and stuff like that go, because when the camera starts rolling and you're thinking about, oh, I really want to fix my hair right now, but are they going to be mad at me if I try to fix my hair? When the camera's rolling or something like that, like, don't even think about it. Just fix your hair. Who cares? They're not looking at that going, oh my God, they fixed their hair. Unless they specifically told you not to, don't do it. But also, the camera sees that, right? So if I'm super happy in the scene, I'm like, Jordy, I've got to tell you something. I really got to tell you something. It's super exciting, but my face is like, I got to fix my hair. Jordy, I'm super excited to tell you this, but I got to fix my hair. It's like that's gonna come across. So
Mm-hmm.
just like let that kind of stuff go and just like be in the moment, and nobody's judging you. And it's not that nobody cares, because everybody wants you to look good as well. When you're filming, there have been times where people have been like, okay, we're going to do it again. Jude, don't do that again. You look bad. And it's like, and I'm not offended by that. It's like, thank you so much, because I don't want to look bad. Um, and people want you to look good, because they're also, if you think about like when you're filming, it's not about you. It's not about you at all. It's about the character and it's about the film. And so I'm not going to have somebody come onto my set and then look bad, or I'm not going to make them look bad or anything like that, because it's my movie. I want my movie to look good. So in turn, I want you to look good. And so it's all just like a win-win.
Yeah, okay, that like hits close to home for me, because I am always overthinking everything of like, if it's in an audition, oh my gosh, what is the reader thinking of me? Like, am I doing this right? Am I not? So yeah,
Yeah, me
that is
too.
definitely good to always keep in mind.
Yeah. And just like one more thing on top of that, like if you're trying to like get out of your head, um, and just let it all go and stop thinking about yourself, just completely relax your face, right? Relax all the muscles, and you can talk and you can say your lines, and just like relax your entire face. And then as you go into it, you're a little more quaint and you're a little more calm, and all of your thoughts kind of leave your face. And so you're only thinking about what you're doing and what you're saying, your intention and stuff like that, and then that's showing through your face, because now you see in that person's face that, okay, this is actually what they're thinking about, right? But if you're sort of like, if you have an ulterior motive in the scene, like a lot of times with Ashton, I would like relax my face and stuff like that, and I'd be like, okay, like I would start to think about things that hurt me, like I'm embarrassed right now, and I'm scared, and I want these people to be my friend, and now I'm gonna laugh at your face, right? And now I'm laughing and I'm smiling and I'm engaging with you and I'm bullying you because you suck, right? But I'm thinking about all this other stuff still. And that translates with those small things that like your eyebrows may do or your voice may do or something like that. And it's just like that. This is a nice tip for like how to like think about other stuff when you're filming and stuff like that.
Absolutely. I feel like I just got a mini acting class right now and I love it. So thank you. I appreciate it. So last real question, when things get tough and hard, what pushes you to keep going and follow your dreams and what you want to do?
I just think about like the times that I've been on set, and it's some people go to Disney and they feel the Disney magic and it's the happiest place on earth. And I personally believe that Disney hits close to home for me. But I also get that same feeling from being on set, because I've been on plenty of big sets as a background and some on crew and stuff like that. And I just think about how that makes me feel. And as of lately, I've been thinking about that commercial because I've been on big sets. I've been in front of the camera, but I've never been the main focus in that regard on set. So that was like it was there was a huge shock when I came on set and I was like, and I was important. People are like asking me if I want water, and I'm just like, I'm chilling. I'm like, nah, you don't have to do anything for me. You do. You're more important than me. I'm just the main character. You're more important though. and it's like, because that's where I love to be. Like that's what motivates me a lot. And also, I have posters on my wall, like movie posters. And whenever I'm writing, because I sit right here at my desk and I'm writing or something like that, and I'm just like, man, it's like I start to get in my head and stuff. I can just like look right over here, and Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio are like standing there, and I'm like, dang, one day I'm gonna be them. I'm gonna meet them or something like that. And that's like been a big motivation as well, because I look at two people that I idolize, two people that are my biggest inspirations, and it really just like it resonates with me. I don't know. I feel like excitement when I look at that poster. That's why it's on my wall. It's the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood poster, if you're wondering, by Quentin Tarantino, who's my favorite director. And then, which is kind of funny because I got two posters. One of them's not up right now, but I got two posters, and my top four favorite actors are Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Kristen. What the heck? Why am I saying Kristen Bell? Christian Bale. They have such similar names.
Very similar.
Christian Bale, and then Matt Damon. And so I have Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio on the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood poster, and then I have Christian Bale. I have Christian Bale and Matt Damon on the Ford versus Ferrari poster. So I got my four favorite actors on two posters. Yeah.
That's awesome. I can definitely relate to that on-set feeling of just the wow, like I love this and I'm here for this. So then very last thing, where can people follow you and keep up with what you're doing?
Yeah, my biggest platform is Instagram. It's just my Instagram is Jude Timothy Harris, no spaces, no caps. I normally pop up after Jude T, depending on where you're at. And I would say YouTube. I post like just like little things now and then of like what I've done. But I don't really post there as much. But it's just like Instagram is maybe where I'm at. Like I have a Facebook and stuff like that. I have a Twitter, but I don't use them. I deleted Facebook up until like a month ago because I had to be on Facebook for a friend. So
awesome. Well, those will Instagram will be in the description below, so everyone can go and follow you. So those are all my questions. So thank you so much for being on the show. I am so glad to have gotten to talk to you and have you as a guest at the same time. So yeah, so all right, I'm gonna click end on the Zoom recording. So we are gonna head back out of Zoom. Thank you so much for watching today. I really hope you enjoyed. If you would like to follow Jude or I on any of our social medias, all of it is down in the description box below, and you can also see how you yourself can be a guest on the show if you're interested. Once again, if you'd like to keep up with the show, you can follow us on Instagram at Breaking Character Show, and you can click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when we post every Tuesday and Thursday. Next week, we have something extra special for the show. It is the first time we will have a duo on the show, meaning we will have two guests at the exact same time. Our guests will be Savannah Thompson and Christine Helmbold, who are not only screenwriters, but are also writers currently publishing their own series of books. Thank you all so much again for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next Tuesday.